Now we're going to talk about the San Francisco Marathon, something we're both very aware of
Yes.
because we were there this past weekend.
Yes. This is we were there this past weekend. We had a grand old time.
No.
It was a lot of pain. Yes.
A lot of pain. So I personally ran a full marathon and you ran a...
Half marathon.
Mm-hmm. So the San Francisco Marathon is considered to be one of the most difficult running race or marathons in the nation.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see why, because I've run it multiple times, but this year I stopped running it in 2019 for obvious reasons.
Yes.
And I haven't been back since. And between those times, they changed the course. And now I think the course is at its most difficult.
Yes, I will say that this was my first year running a half marathon for the San Francisco Marathon. Previously, I had run the full marathon twice, and I do have to say that the half that I did run, the incline was one of the highest that I felt we had run. I felt like it was one of the highest inclines.
I think the decline was the worst, truthfully.
Really?
Yeah, the decline after the Golden Gate Bridge was just tremendous. So this San Francisco Marathon, you would think that the last marathon was record-breaking, but this one had a record-setting number of runners.
Oh, how much?
So there was 29,000 runners that day.
Oh, really?
So that's pretty crazy because last year it was the 45th and this is the 46th year of the marathon.
I think it's because more people are willing to go get out there after a number of years.
Oh yeah.
That's just my prediction on it. So I think it's also like the excitement of it all too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if you think about running a marathon, I think if your training only involves running on flat ground and you think that you could probably do it easy peasy, you might be in for a crazy surprise because trying to pace yourself going downhill and pace yourself going uphill for that many hills, like not many places like have that many hills in succession. Like there's more hills, I think, up and down or inclines, declines than there are flat sections.
So this is something that you touched on, but you mentioned that San Francisco is one of the hardest ones to run, and the reason why that is because of the amount of hills. We're mentioning the amount of hills that we have. So typically, what you get when you do a marathon, you get timed on, and if your time meets a certain criteria, you could qualify for other runs, such as like the Boston Marathon, and you could get in based on your time. Other than that, you could get potentially raffled into a marathon, but it's a lower chance.
Yeah.
But San Francisco is famously known to be one of the marathons that you do not want to use as your qualifying time because of the incline. People often use LA for their qualifying time because of the flat terrain, like you were mentioning. It's easier to run on flat
I think
ground.
it's easier to keep pace because like there's a lot of different techniques that you will have to employ for running downhill and uphill. Like you'll feel pain in places you didn't know. Because when you're running downhill, the incline is like just really downhill, and you'll be having to stop yourself from going too fast because you're gonna fall on your face if you keep going. So like your knees, your quads are gonna be burning, your hips are gonna be destroyed. It's really, really tough.
But what do you get at the end of this?
A banana.
Yes, where's the bananas? We should have
wait.
a banana here. Okay.
But so here is an example of the 26.2 mile one.
Yeah, and this is the 13.1. Hold yours up too. Show the difference in size between these two.
Maybe a bit higher.
Oh yeah, here you go. Yes. So the 26.2 is significantly larger, but at the same time,
significantly
he-
longer.
Yeah, significantly longer. I was gonna say he deserves it because he should get more for running more. So, but
It also
overall-
costs more,
It also costs more. Yes.
a lot more. So, if you're a runner or think about coming down to the city, I think the SF Marathon is a good reason to come out because I think the vibe of the city is definitely uplifted from the marathon and all the runners coming in and enjoying the scenic views
Yeah.
because
The city was more lively with the runners, to be
Mm-hmm.
honest. Everywhere we went, even to some other places that were a little further out than where the marathon was
Yeah.
at, we saw runners everywhere.
all the runners are everywhere.
They
I
enjoy
think
the
all the
day out,
shops,
yeah.
all the shops were like full of people. Like a lot of places that were previously considered like a lot less tourists are there. We're now full of like runners and their families and support people.
Yeah, it's a good amount of people in the city.
Yeah, so I think it like, don't get me wrong, like there's a lot of negative stuff, but the other thing that brought people in originally is that San Francisco, like underneath all the, bad stuff, is like a really beautiful city. Like
Yeah, it's
the
nice.
Golden Gate Bridge is really pretty. The like all the different hills and the houses are really nice.
Yeah, and we want to know if you ran in this marathon. It could be either this year or previous years, and what your experience was. We just want to know because for at least like for us, we really like the scenic views we did see when we were out running.
So, if you like this type of content or us talking about different stuff, please consider subscribing and
Yeah,
please share your experience because we like to hear about different races because
'cause we're runners. We are runners, and also we put out videos daily. So make sure to like and subscribe.
On the last note, which marathons are you interested in going to, like outside of this one? I think the New York one is one I was considering, and London and Tokyo. Tokyo would be great.
I tried to raffle in.
That was
this-
impossible. Like there's
Side
so
note-
many.
Side note, the chances. Okay, so I saw this. I don't know how accurate this is because I saw this on
Probably
a
fairly accurate.
Yeah, I saw this on a Facebook post. So I don't know how accurate this is because I was trying to find like what the odds are on raffling in. Some person said that you had a less than a 5% odds. I think it was like 3% odds to get raffled in, which is
So,
which
Insight on that one is that that year that you're trying to go was the first year they had it again.
Yes, it was the first year that they had it again. So a lot of
And-
people were going to it.
And all the people who previously had tickets were grandfathered in, so everybody
Yeah.
was gonna go anyway. So it was already a full marathon.
Yeah, so I heard it was only the people who were running for charity that were getting accepted in, which is good, but at the same time, it's like it significantly lowered the odds of someone like me trying to raffle in.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but you still had a chance, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't lose anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so.
But yeah.